Hey, this is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Raiders are re-signing wide receiver Martavis Bryant after trading for Bryant over the offseason. They cut him at the final roster cut down due to concerns over a possible suspension, but ESPN reported yesterday that Oakland is set to sign Bryant to a one-year deal. The A's kept rolling yesterday with a 3-2 win over the Orioles. They got 6 strong innings from starting pitcher Mike Fiers. The rest of that series is in jeopardy, though, as Hurricane Florence approaches the East Coast. We'll keep you updated on any updates on that series. It's scheduled to continue tonight at 4 o'clock as of now. Oakland got some help from the Twins last night, who beat the Yankees 10-5 to bring the A's within 2 games of the top wild card spot. It's 7:03, time to play 9 at Sierra Pines Golf Course. Learn more at timbercreekgc.com.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
All right, let's add a couple of things to Kyle's update. According to Pro Football Talk, a couple of Raider notes. They will sign. We were talking about them looking at their old long snapper. They're going to sign Trent Sieg, who is a long snapper. So there you go. There missed that in the open. Also, Jonathan Hankins is visiting Oakland today, and according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, the Raiders want to sign him. 26 years old. Solid run defender, they say. Veteran deals no longer guaranteed for the entire season, which, of course, is making teams more likely to sign him. A couple of Raiders notes there for you before we get into the Oakland A's. I saw something. Oh, yeah, that's what I saw during the break. Somebody out there helped me out. The News and Review, do they still do their best of, what was it, the best of Sacramento? I've got these Facebook updates coming up. And it was just a year ago that I think it was us, Grant, and Jim Crandall took the top 3 for sports coverage or whatever. I always like seeing these besides the self-serving reasons. I like to be told what is good in Sacramento. I haven't heard anything about them. So did the News Review drop these, or have I just not been paying attention? Obviously, I haven't been paying attention, I'm sure. But I am curious. I like all those lists. I like all the A lists and the best of Sacramento stuff. It makes me feel, like that meme where the guy says, "Hey kids, what's this music?" Like that what is that, Steve Buscemi? I like to know what's going on in my home city since I don't go out enough. Want to remind you, our video cast brought to you by Sacramento, your Sacramento Republic. Also, our friends at Jiffy Lube will also bring you the text line at 441140. The A's won and lost yesterday. How is that possible? Well, we can start, of course, with the win.
Familia sets, turns, he throws, swung on and missed. He gets him with a breaking ball, and this ball game is over. And the A's are 31 games over the 500 mark.
That's the good news. A couple of bad newses. One was this.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out on a slider, and that is the ball game. The Houston Astros make it 2 in a row in Detroit, defeating the Tigers tonight by a final of 5-4.
All right, so Astros win again. The A's have the longest winning streak in baseball right now at 5, but they just are having trouble gaining ground on the Stros, who continue to win just like Oakland does. They are 3 back of Houston, 2 back from the New York Yankees, and that's for the wild card spot. That's a one-off. The only thing finishing ahead of them gets you is you get to host the wild card. Now, Kyle and I were talking about this earlier. Excuse me, before I get to that, let me just add in. Sean Manaea, the news is terrible. He will miss the rest of the season, which is something we thought was going to happen likely with a shoulder issue. He's now going to have surgery on that shoulder. Not only will he miss this season, it looks like he's going to miss, according to Bob Melvin, most likely the entire campaign next year as well. So that is obviously a massive, massive blow for the Oakland A's, who already had starting pitching issues. Now they basically have Mike Fiers and flip a coin.
Yeah, it's in the playoffs. You're hoping, I guess, Brett Anderson's healthy.
Yeah.
And you start one of those two guys and go bullpen day.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to. You know, the Tampa Bay Rays might have been onto something, and if they weren't, the A's might have to follow suit.
It's going to be fascinating if the A's they might use the bullpen game tactic in the wild card game. They might go that route. Unless they play at home, then they might start Trevor Cahill. His ERA at home is like under 1 or just over 1. It's really good. But it'll be fascinating if the A's somehow make a run. Like let's say the A's go to the ALCS and push it to 6 or 7 games. It would be probably Houston, because they'd play the Red Sox in the DS. Let's say they beat the Red Sox and take Houston to 6 or 7, going bullpen game in 3 of those. It's going to be very interesting to see if and how the league adapts.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for them in the postseason.
It does not.
Looking at another developing story with the A's that we want to focus on is the weather report in Baltimore. Because we're sitting here on September 12th right now, and you have Hurricane Florence bearing down on much of the East Coast. Believe it or not, Baltimore, part of the East Coast. The forecast for Baltimore today, scattered thunderstorms. You got a 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms today, slightly lower tonight. The problem is it's not scattered storms, it's scattered thunderstorms. There's a difference there. If it was just rain, you're probably playing the game unless it's coming down like cats and dogs. If it's scattered thunderstorms, meaning lightning, you got to clear the field.
Right.
There could be 0 rain. You have to clear the field.
That's what we saw in the Titans-Dolphins game on
Correct.
Sunday.
Correct.
There was lightning in the area, so they had to evacuate the field.
So what does that mean? And that's not going to get better over the next few days. They're expecting rain today, tomorrow, into Friday. And then most of next week, which doesn't matter for these purposes. Why are we talking about Baltimore weather? Because the A's are set to take on the Orioles tonight at 7:05 and tomorrow night at 7:05, both times Eastern, 4:05 out here. If one or both of those games is canceled, and I think really we're talking about if both games are canceled, there's going to be a serious problem with the A's in the postseason. Now, as you and I talked about before, Kyle, we've seen precedents where a team plays 160 games in a year, 161, excuse me. I've never seen 160. I've never seen that. I don't even know if you can do that. And what that means is that if there was a weather issue or a cancellation, and we come to the end of the year, and that cancellation came towards the end of the year, and it turns out that cancellation has no bearing on any of the standings, they'll let it go. They'll let it go.
Right, and that's usually, like you said, usually one game.
Right. I could be wrong. I've never seen it too. Have you? Have you ever? Yeah, I haven't.
I'm sure we'll get a bunch of texts about times it's happened.
Sure.
But
I don't know.
So if the season ends today, like if the A's and Orioles don't get this game in, and the A's finish 2 back of the Yankees,
yeah,
they're playing those games.
They are. They're going to have to. And I wonder, and here's honestly, I wish we had somebody from baseball sitting right here, because I'd love to ask them, hey, what if the A's finish behind or ahead of the Yankees by, let's say, 3 games, and both of these games are canceled? Are they going to have to make one up just so they can play 161, or are you going to allow them to play a 160-game schedule?
Right.
I don't know the answer to that.
I also wonder, let's say they finish a game ahead of the Yankees, or a game behind them, within a game of the Yankees.
Right.
I need to pick one. Okay, they finish a game ahead.
Sure.
They win the first game against Baltimore. Do they now have to play that second one?
You would think so.
Like if they have a doubleheader scheduled or
You would
something?
think so. Now, well, yeah, because if they hadn't played 2, remember the Yankees are done, so each win is a half game. So for them to pick up a full game on the Yankees, they'd have to win 2 games.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is if they're up a game and they win 1,
Yeah,
they're up
okay.
a game and a
if
half.
they're
So
up
if they
a game.
lose, that it's
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. I would hope not. You would think they wouldn't have them playing. You would hope baseball in that situation.
I guess they would be a half game up on the Yankees.
Right.
So it would put them a full game. Yeah.
Then
no.
if they were a half game up, yeah, they would have to play. You know why? Because the Yankees would say, yeah, dude, because if they lose.
No, you're not. Sorry, I'm not explaining it
Okay.
correctly. They're up a half game.
Right.
They win to go up a full game with 1 game left.
Okay, and then they have
can
another game.
Only lose.
Yes, then no.
But then that doesn't. My math is way off, dude.
It sure is.
Because they can't finish within a half game.
Yeah. This is why we shouldn't get into math. Bottom line is they could have extra games they have to play. And as you mentioned earlier, looking at their schedule right now.
They would be up 1 game. If they win, they are up a game and a half.
Yeah.
And the most they can finish up is a game.
Correct. Or if they won that game, they'd finish 2 games up.
Right. Okay,
Right.
there it was.
There you go. They have 2 remaining days off this season. They have the 17th of September this month, and they have the 27th off. The 27th off, that is, and I believe that's the day you mentioned is the only shared off day between
The
the Orioles.
20th.
Is the 20th?
Yeah, it's their only shared off day. And that's in the middle of an A's series against the
I was going
Angels.
to say, how is that a shared off day when they're both playing? A's are playing the 20th of September versus the Angels at home. I'm looking at it.
So the 27th then.
Okay, the 27th. Yeah, that
Okay,
makes
yeah.
more sense. And that's after they finish the season or the series with Seattle in Seattle, and then they fly to LA to take on the
Okay,
Angels.
that's right. Okay.
So either way, that is clearly a West Coast flight from Seattle to LA. This is a story that A's fans need to pay attention to out of the corner of their eye. That we're picking up on. You need to watch the weather today. You need to watch the weather tomorrow, and you really need to be rooting for the A's and Orioles to be able to play. As meaningless as this series is, this actually now is very much a meaningful series. And
Especially against a team with 40 wins.
Right. And as we go to break, let me also note, you might say, well, hold on, Dave. Well, they're going down to Tampa Bay next, and Florida's having weather issues as well. Remember, Tampa Bay plays in a dome. So unless there is some catastrophic hurricane stuff going on that would prevent people from attending, which is in the realm of possibility, Kyle, that should be fine. So we'll keep an eye on that. 4 Down Territory is next. The theme to 4 Down Territory, I actually wrote the questions with a theme. Is this a problem?
Is this a problem for the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
Is a theme.
Is a theme?
Pittsburgh Radio coming up next.
3 of 4. Sports 1140 KHTK. You're home of the Kings.
Sundays belong to the NFL. Saturdays are for college football. But it all started first on Friday. Join Matt George and Charles T. Hamilton every Friday night for the Friday Night Football Show, presented by Wingstop.
Are you ready for some football?
Recaps, scores, interviews, players, and coaches from your team.
Friday Night Football.
Northern California's Friday Night Football Show on Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
Yeah!
Capital Casino is Sacramento's #1 poker room with limit, no limit hold'em, 21.5 blackjack, Pai Gow poker, and 3-card poker, their newest edition, my favorite game. They also have the best food and the best service to go with those games as well. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time to get out there and play some golf and enjoy the Ridge Golf Course in Auburn. Right now, for any round of golf booked after 1 p.m., it's only $31. Golf after 3 p.m. for only $25 any day of the week. And if the temperature hits over 100 degrees at the time of your tee time, the Ridge will offer 50% off the retail rate. It's so easy to book a tee time. Go to ridgegc.com and click Book a Tee Time. It's that simple. The prices are great, the course is amazing, and you'll have a great time at the Ridge.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, brought to you by Valvoline. For hot rides, cool merch, and content, check out TeamValvoline.com. Martina Navratilova, who won 18 Grand Slam singles titles, has taken exception to Serena Williams' outburst in last Saturday's U.S. Open Women's Final. Writing for the New York Times op-ed page, Navratilova said, "It's difficult to know and debatable whether Williams could have gotten away with calling the umpire a thief if she were a male player, but we cannot measure ourselves by what we think we should also be able to get away with. This is the sort of behavior that no one should be engaging in on the court." She added, "There have been many times when I wanted to break my racket into 1,000 pieces. Then I thought about the kids watching and grudgingly held on to that racket." Game, set, match. Navratilova. Finally, some sanity. I'm Boomer Esiason.
There are two ways to pour motor oil. The hard way, which can get messy. Or the easy way. Introducing Valvoline in the new Easy Pour bottle, featuring a redesigned Easy Pull Tab and Spout and anti-glove tube. Now, the proven protection you expect from Valvoline is even easier to pour. Faster, cleaner, proven. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Valvoline, since 1866. Now at Advance Auto Parts, buy 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic high mileage and a filter for $33.99. Terms and conditions may apply.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, good things come in pairs. Like a Samsung front-loading high-efficiency washer and electric dryer, now just $648 each. Save over $500 on the pair. They're high capacity, so larger loads are no problem. And at this lower price, neither are smaller budgets. Up to 40% off appliance special buys, now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only while supplies last. Gas dryer extra. See store for details. Valid through September 12th.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Maida Subaru brings you this look at weather. Sunny today, going to be mild, a high of 77. We'll have more of the same for tomorrow. The end of summer sales event is on now at Maida Subaru Sacramento with big Maida Subaru savings on over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus. Maida Subaru Sacramento at maidasubaru.com. Exceeding expectations every day.
It's time for 4 Down Territory on the Drive. First down.
4 Down Territory brought to you by Fire Wings. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Hey, just wing it. Scott Bair, NBC Sports California Raiders insider, will join us here at 8:05 to talk Raiders. In the meantime, Kyle Madsen. First down.
Yeah, it's me. Le'Veon Bell was partying at a Miami club Monday night well into Tuesday. Is this a problem?
It shouldn't be, but it is because it's not a good look.
Right.
It's not a good look for his teammates. His teammates just played a rainy game against the Browns, rallied around James Conner, cancer survivor, local cat as far as college goes, feel-good story, and he did it on the field. Meanwhile, now you have Le'Veon Bell holding out, posting emojis of a guy looking through a monocle, and now he apparently showed up around midnight Monday, or technically midnight Tuesday, you get my point, and partied throughout the morning. He's not with the team. He's on his own time. He's not doing anything illegal. It shouldn't be a problem. But Kyle, if you're his teammates, and a lot of him coming back is going to be having to be accepted by his teammates, who again are rallying around Conner, maybe Mike Tomlin and company look at this and go, you know what, we don't need the headache right now. We'll wait and see if there's an issue.
I wonder if we'll see Le'Veon Bell checking out the Marysville Stampede coming this September 15th and 16th. Go to MarysvilleStampede.com for tickets.
You could.
Yeah, like you said, it's. I personally don't have a problem with it, but my opinion doesn't matter here. What his teammates think is an issue though, and if he is showing that like he's. It's just not great if you're taking regular season games off, effectively hurting your team, and going out and doing this. That's going to be tough to integrate back into that locker room.
Second down.
Second down.
Antonio Brown threatened a reporter on Twitter, then deleted it. Is that a problem?
Yeah, that's a problem. Apparently, a reporter did a piece for The Undefeated that chronicled Antonio Brown's social media life and how it parallels his real life. Some of the info that was put into this piece was a little bit harsh, but didn't, according to the article I'm reading, wasn't unfounded. Antonio Brown didn't like that. He tweeted out to the reporter, his name's Jesse Washington. I'm going to quote it word for word. I'm not making fun of Antonio Brown. I just don't want to get it wrong. Wait till I see you, bro. We gon' see what your jaw like. That's literally verbatim what he wrote. That's a threat. Wait till I see you. We're going to see what your jaw's like. In other words, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. Now, do I think Antonio Brown's going to punch a reporter in the mouth? No, I do not. But you have an NFL player threatening a reporter on Twitter. That's going to be money for Antonio Brown, and it's not a good look. And this isn't the first time Antonio Brown's done stupid stuff on social media. He deleted the post, but Twitter is forever. You'll remember he had the Facebook Live thing going on in the locker room. That was a lot of controversy. I like Antonio Brown. I think he's a hell of a player and also seems like a fun dude. Guys like him and Juju Smith-Schuster make football more fun.
Yes.
You can't threaten a reporter. That is a problem.
Even if like you're buddies with that reporter and it's like a joke.
Right.
Where you're like, hey, when I see you, it's on site. Like,
sure.
You're joking with that guy.
You need to throw in like laughing emojis and the guy needs to be in on it at the very least.
Right.
And it's even then probably not a good idea.
Right.
So that's to me a bigger problem than Le'Veon Bell being at clubs. He's going to lose some money off of that, and he's probably going to need to apologize publicly to the reporter and to his team. The Rudies don't deal with stuff like that very well. Third down.
Oh, look, another Steelers question. Despite James Conner having a fantastic day, we should have gotten that lady Mary or whatever her name was.
Yes.
The Steelers
It's a
fan.
highlight.
We're the Steelers. Despite James Conner having a fantastic day, the Steelers tied the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. Is this a problem?
This was actually something I wanted to talk about a little bit yesterday, and then as I was writing this, that came back up into my head. I went, let's do 3 Steelers questions. And like I said, the theme today is that a problem? Yeah, it's a problem. Because James Conner had a great day. And yes, you had the first game of the season. Yes, you had rain and bad conditions. Yes, the Browns are better than they were last year. But that's a problem if you're the Steelers. Now, Ben Roethlisberger, who will play this weekend, and this is normal for him, is going to be light in practice today due to, quote, bumps and bruises. And that's what happens when you face off against a guy like Myles Garrett. But that's a little bit of a problem they need to address. And I don't know what they need. Did you see something with the Steelers in that game, Kyle, that made you go, oh, God, they're in trouble?
No.
Me neither. That's my point. Like, I didn't see anything glaring from the Steelers and went, oh, my God.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Just a weird game. It was week 1. It was on the road. It was rainy. It was wet. It was just a weird game. The Steelers are fine.
Fourth down.
Fourth down. We said that.
Fourth down.
With his first catch from Sam Bradford Sunday, Larry Fitzgerald has now caught passes from 18 different quarterbacks. Is that a problem?
It's not a problem. It's just a vehicle for me to put that into our 4-down territory. 18 quarterbacks.
That's mind you, that is in 15 seasons, 14 seasons in a game.
I think also we should remember too, Kyle, that Kurt Warner and Carson Palmer are 2 of those 18 quarterbacks, meaning they were quarterbacks for a while.
Yeah.
They weren't just flash in the pans for this team. We got a break, but real quick, Josh McCown, Sean King, John Navarre from Michigan, Bryant St. Pierre, 1 pass caught. Kurt Warner, Matt Leinart, Tim Rattay, the former Niner, Derek Anderson, the former Brown, Max Hall, remember him, John Skelton, Rich Bartell, Kevin Kolb, Ryan Lindley, Brian Hoyer, Carson Palmer, Drew Stanton.
Kevin Cobb became
Blaine Gabbert.
such an irrelevant person that you forgot how to pronounce his name.
Well, no. I do the same thing with him that I do with Brian Hoyer. That's my
okay,
bit.
it's a bit. Got it.
Pit thing.
Yeah,
Blaine Gabbert and Sam Bradford.
In 2010 alone, Derek Anderson, John Skelton, Max Hall, and Rich Bartel.
Yeah.
That's in 2010 alone. Derek Anderson's not here to have fun. Dave.
We'll take a break. Hot take here. Larry Fitzgerald might be my favorite non-49er of all time.
Dude.
He might be.
I typically hate players on rival teams. But, dude,
How can you not love Larry Fitzgerald?
Same with Adrian Beltre.
And if he ends up retiring next year, honestly, and Arizona's going to suck, you know what I'd really like to see? I would like to see Larry Fitzgerald in the offseason sign a one-year deal with Minnesota because that's where he grew up. That's his team. His dad, his family has
ball
major
boy there, right?
Yes, he was. I would love to see, assuming Minnesota continues,
right.
That would be a great way
just
for
go
him.
Just go be like a third or fourth receiver over there.
Ray Bork did that when he left the Bruins. Just go and get yourself or try to get yourself a ring. We'll take a break. When we get back, Sham and I out for the year. We'll talk about that, little A's catch up. And the Kings' future power rankings are out as we glide towards the beginning of training camp. We have a little bit of Kings stuff for you. We'll get to next right here on The Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is the Lowdown. The Lowdown.
Yeah, Alicia Keys got me. Yeah, bad. I have an interview of Alicia Keys that you can hear going south. No, because you know what she did? I said something that made her laugh, and she reached out and put her hand on top of mine, and I froze. And my co-host looks at me and goes, dude, are you all right?
No.
I was like, no.
Need a
And
minute.
she kept her hand there the rest of the interview.
And you never wash that hand again.
Did you notice?
The Lowdown with Damian Barling and Jason Ross. Weekdays from noon to 3.
Right here
on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Oh, looking at this video cast, man, the angle they have. I got a little extra hanging over my waistband. I may need to go see Dr. Jack Friedlander, get that taken care of over at NorCal Lipo. Been in, seen him before. Had a little neck deal done about 3 years ago. It's amazing the results that he gets, whether it's your chest, your tummy, your back, your thighs. You pick it. He can probably work on it. And you can see those results for yourself at NorCalLipo.com. Look at the test, read the testimonials, look at the pictures, and make yourself a free, no obligation, and of course, very private consultation. Get in there, sit across from Dr. Jack, and let him tell you exactly how he can change your life. It's an outpatient procedure. It's cheaper than you think. Find out at 347-7755. That's 916-347-7755 at NorCalLipo.com. That's NorCalLipo.com. Get in there today and tell him your good buddy
Carmichael Dave
sent you.
Chase Chevrolet is a proud sponsor of football coverage on Sports 1140 KHTK. Located on Holman Road off Highway 99 at Hammer Lane in Stockton, Chase Chevrolet has a large selection of both new and used vehicles. Come check out the new 2018 model cars and trucks on hand today. Whether you're looking for the all-new Cruze, a Malibu, Tahoe, or a Corvette, you will find it at Chase Chevrolet. Call 1-800-24-CHASE or log on to ChaseChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Chase Chevrolet. Buy into it.
This ain't the first time it's happened, is it? Yeah, that's how it is with backed up drains. A DIY fix might clear things up for a little bit, but you'll keep getting backed up at the most inconvenient times until you fix it right. So call the home service heroes at Bonnie. For most clogs, Bonnie can fix your drain for just $97. They'll use professional grade equipment to cable out your clogged drain till it's flowing free and clear. Boom. Problem gone. No more half measures and no more worries. Not every problem can be fixed by cabling, but Bonnie has the cameras, tools, and expertise to diagnose and fix bigger problems correctly. Plus, their stand-up techs will shoot you straight, show you the video, and provide guaranteed quotes. But honestly, 80% of the time, it's a $97 fix, if you're smart enough to call Bonnie. Details at Bonnie.com. License 696355. BONNEY. Bonnie.com.
Credit products are made by WebBank. Rates and terms vary based on credit history. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
How did I get into credit card debt? A trip to the emergency room.
Car repairs.
Moving expenses?
There's a million ways to get into credit card debt, but one sure way to start getting out: Avant. Avant offers access to online unsecured loans from $2,000 to $35,000 at competitive rates and no extra charges for paying back early. Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. The application takes minutes, and if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time Monday through Friday, funds are deposited as soon as the next business day. And now Avant will also give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your loan options and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 7171 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 7171. Avant.com, code 7171.
Do you dream of moving up the career ladder or making your own ladder at your own business? You have the ambition. It's time to develop your skills. A business management degree from Colorado State University Global Campus is the place to start. Our programs are customizable so you can hit the job market with the right skills for the job you want. And our professional faculty will help you keep up in the ever-changing business world. Visit csuglobal.edu, where online education isn't another thing we do, it's all we do.
In the market for a new car or truck? Shop at Elk Grove Ford, Sacramento's family-owned, customer-first Ford dealership.
They feature the best deals, the largest selection, and the most enjoyable purchase experience available.
Elk Grove Ford in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
Elk Grove sells Fords.
Listen for your chance to win 2 tickets to an Oakland Raiders game September 30th and 2 Capital Corridor train tickets for the game. Visit KHTK.com for your chance to win.
Now your sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Hey, it's Kyle Madsen, Top Stories, Sports 1140. What if I did a whole update truncated like that? Kyle Madsen, Top Stories, Sports 1140. Raiders signing Martavis Bryant. A's beat Orioles 3-2. Hurricane Florence approaching East Coast. A's schedule could be in jeopardy. Slated to start 4 o'clock tonight. That didn't work.
I don't think so.
No, it's not working. So the A's won 3-2 in case you missed that. Hurricane Florence is quickly approaching the East Coast. It could impact the A's schedule here. They're slated to continue tonight at 4 o'clock, but that game is definitely in
my mic
jeopardy.
was on when I sniffed. Sorry.
Yeah, it sure was.
That was rude.
That's fine. No, now my update's all messed up. So the A's got some help from the Twins last night. They beat the Yankees 10-5. The A's are within 2 games of the top wild card spot. NFL injury news. Seahawks wide receiver Doug Baldwin is out a couple of weeks with a knee injury. It's a different knee than the one he injured in the preseason, so he's dealing with injuries to both knees. The Falcons plays linebacker Deion Jones on injured reserve, and Panthers tight end Greg Olsen has a fractured foot that he plans to rest for a few weeks before returning to the Carolina lineup. Adjust your fantasy teams accordingly. It's 7:34. Time to play 9 at Sierra Pines Golf Course. Learn more at timbercreekgc.com.
It's The Drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Scott Bear will join us at the top of the hour, NBC Sports California, and the Drive Raider Insider. He'll be on with us each and every Wednesday to recap and preview. That's why we put him in the middle of the week. Your Oakland Raiders. We love Scott. The dude knows exactly what he's talking about, which is why, can I say something here? And I don't want to disparage any guests. Just understand what I'm saying. If you're a longtime listener, you've probably noticed on this show that when it comes to regular guests, we tend to lean towards writers, announcers, TV guys, and a lot of stations bring on actual playing athletes. And that can be really good sometimes. There are advantages to that. You're getting somebody who's in the locker room, who's playing the games.
Garrett Temple was on the lowdown every week last year.
Amazing.
It was great.
Was amazing.
Very good.
And we've had experiences all throughout the station with players coming on and providing tremendous content. And we've done that a lot with the A's this year, too, where we've had players come on. This isn't to disparage athletes.
I believe we're getting Stephen Piscotty tomorrow.
What? Love that. Second time in a month with Stephen.
Yeah.
I talk to him every week. But I think when we look at our experts that we want to bring you, I tend to lean towards guys that are awake. First off, that's number one. Are you awake when you're coming on? I think it's important. But also, people that can, a player talks about what's in his world through his worldview, and that's how it should be. A guy like Matt Barrows or Scott Bair or even Sean Salisbury, who used to play the game. Sean's the best of both worlds. They can talk about whatever. They can talk about the big picture, not get emotional about it, not give you the cookie cutter answers, not give you, all the the cliches, if you will. So I'm very happy we have Scott coming in to be a Raiders insider. If you've heard Scott on the program before, the dude knows what he's talking about.
Right, and I enjoy football guys that know football.
Right,
and that's not to say that not every writer knows football. You have to know football to be a writer and get paid for it. But guys that understand formations, that understand.
Sure. Greg Papa was great at that.
Oh,
great at that. And also, there's another thing. Let's be honest. There are some writers, just like there are some athletes, that probably shouldn't do radio. They're just not good at radio. They're not talkers. Coming from a guy like me with a giant lisp who can barely talk, but they aren't good at getting their points across. Right. But when they're writing, they're phenomenal. Yeah. Well, this is a spoken word medium. So anyway, Scott's coming on. All your guests come to you via the Firewings hotline. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Check out their new Delta Shores location. Just wing it. Every year, ESPN does these projections, future power rankings for the NBA. This is basically 5 categories that get ranked. You come up with a total score. And the idea here is this is the expected success on the floor for each team over the next 3 seasons, counting the one coming up. Each team gets an overall future power rating of 0 to 100 based on how well they expect it to perform. And the 2 guys that put this together are Kevin Pelton and Bobby Marks. Bobby's been a guest on the show before, former GM, or should I say assistant GM with the Nets. Both know what they're talking about. That being said, these, of course, are no guarantee of future performance, just them using numbers and rankings to come up with a guess. Kyle, would you like to take a shot at who's number 1?
Is it the Golden State Warriors?
As a matter of fact, 84.6. They rank number 1 in players or talent, number 1 in management, number 1 in market, 25th in money, 27th in draft. Both of those expected. You're not going to get great draft picks when you're winning championships, and odds are you're going to have a very high payroll. So where it counts, they get a number 1 ranking. Now, we're not going to go all the way down the list, but I'm just curious, would you like to guess who's number 2?
Number 2.
This is expected performance on the floor over the next 3 years.
I'm going to guess the Lakers.
The Los Angeles Lakers are number 4. Number 2, and when I tell you, it's pretty obvious.
The Rockets?
No, the number 2. No, Rockets are number 3. The Boston Celtics.
Oh,
yeah,
geez,
exactly. They're number 2. It's all right.
Philly's got to be 5.
Not only do they have players and management and all that, they're also the second-ranked team when it comes to future draft because they will have as many as 3 extra first-round picks coming on the way, including the Sacramento Kings pick, which they will get here in June.
Hey, NBA GMs.
Right.
Stop letting Danny Ainge swindle you.
Speaking of swindling, Houston Rockets at number 3, Lakers at number 4, Philadelphia 76ers at number 5. So just to kind of give you an idea of where these are, and I tend to agree with that top 5. I actually think I might move the Sixers slightly above the Lakers. Yeah. Big reason the Lakers are there is market and LeBron James. And they have some young players as well. Would you like to know where my Sacramento Kings, I don't say our, I say my, because you're a Warriors fan.
So there's 30 teams.
There are 30 teams. Now, again, the 5 categories are players as in talent.
Okay.
Management as in coaches, GM, front office. Money as far as how much cap room they have or are expected to have. Market, where that market ranks in the attraction for free agents. And draft capital. It's okay. You're not going to offend anyone, Kyle.
29. I don't want to say
Well, number 30 is the Charlotte Hornets. Let me help you out there. The Kings are not last.
I'm going to go 29.
You're going to go 29? That bad, huh? You really comfortable saying that on the home of the Kings, Sports 1140 KHTK?
Mostly because of the fact they don't have a first-round pick this year. We don't know how good their talent is yet. I'm going 29.
On the dot. Number 29, your Sacramento Kings. They rank 27th in the NBA when it comes to player talent. Or should I say how these players are expected to be compared to other players over the next 3 seasons. That's really the mark.
Sure.
When it comes to management, they are 30th. They are dead last when it comes to management. They are dead last when it comes to management, and just to give you an idea, their management score was a 17.5. The Hornets are 28th at a 20.0. I'm trying to look at where is 29. I'm scrolling up. Somebody got a really bad management score, but oh my goodness, how high?
Is it the Knicks?
I would think so.
Maybe the Nets.
Let's see. The Phoenix Suns are tied for 28th.
It's got to be the Knicks.
Now the Knicks management is 21st.
Really?
Woof. Blech.
Oh, is it the Pelicans?
The Pelicans.
They've done a really poor job.
Let's see. Management 27th for the Hawks. 23rd for the Cavs, 26th for the Grizzlies, 18th for the Magic, 25th for the Bulls.
Oh, dude, we're whittling teams down.
28th for the Suns.
Oh, give me the Pels at 29.
24th for the Timberwolves, 21st for the Knicks.
Oh, give it to me.
The Brooklyn Nets, number 8, 8th in management.
Interesting.
Wonder if Bobby Marks wrote this. Oh, wait, he did.
Oh, dude.
The Pelicans.
29. Give it to me.
Well, minus 10 off of that. Oh. Pelicans are 19th.
Wow.
Wizards are 21st. Woof. You know what I think happened here? Oh, I know exactly what happened here. They've got 2 teams tied for 28th, and that's why I'm not finding a 29. So we can stop that right now.
Okay.
Going back through this, though. So the Kings are ranked 29th in future power rankings, 27th in player talent, 30th in management/ownership. They are 5th in money, meaning that they will have cap space. 28th in market. Now, I'm wearing a Sacramento Proud shirt that you can see on the video cast. I'm wearing it as we speak. No one is more proud of our city than I. And I say that only to preface what I'm about to say. That's about right. That's about right, because what they mean by market is how likely, compared to the other 30 teams, are big-name free agents going to come here. And to be honest with you, if they put us 30th, I wouldn't have had an argument either. We've talked about this before. It's an ongoing conversation we have generally every spring when the season ends and Kings fans get excited. I'm not condescending. I'm just saying we get excited because, oh, hey, we could sign this guy. And then inevitably it's, well, no, we signed Fred and Bill and John. We didn't sign anybody great. We signed Bielitsa.
And
no offense to him.
We know, you, me, listeners for the most part, know that Sacramento's great. I very much enjoy living in Sacramento.
Absolutely.
You love Sacramento more than anybody, literally anybody I know.
I love Sacramento.
But when it comes to NBA free agents, that is not the case. And there's no amount of convincing that you or I or anyone else can do on this radio station or the internet that's going to change that.
And by the way, not for nothing, but we've talked about this before too. Bobby Jackson, Brad Miller, Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic. There are a lot of ex-players that make their homes here. Kenny Thomas. What?
I said Kenny Thomas.
Yeah, Kenny Thomas. They come here from other places and they stay here because they love the city. Even though they maybe end up playing in other cities after, they still come back here. Here's their conversation, the breakdown of the Kings, which was done by Bobby Marks. Sacramento holds firm at number 29 because of a roster stockpiled with recent draft picks with uncertain potential and veterans on expiring contracts who could be on a different team following March waiver buyouts. Out of the 9 first and second round picks drafted since 2015 that are on the roster, only De'Aaron Fox, Bogdan Bogdanovic, who was drafted by Phoenix, and rookie Marvin Bagley can stake claims to be building blocks for the future. That could change if Harry Giles returns to form after being hampered with injuries for the past 18 months. I think that's fair. The Kings rank well in money, not only because of the $11 million in remaining room this season, but also the projected $45 million in space in 2019. Even with money to spend and one of the NBA's top venues, I would actually say the toppest, there is no guarantee of moving up. Sacramento needs to produce a homegrown all-star or start attracting top free agents with success on the court to significantly rise in these rankings.
Maybe if some NBA free agents came down to check out the Marysville Stampede coming this September 15th and 16th, go to MarysvilleStampede.com for tickets, they would want to come to Sacramento.
I agree. Who wouldn't? Before we move off of this, I don't have an argument against this. I know it's going to piss off a lot of people, and ultimately the answer of who cares, this doesn't matter. Here's what my response is always to that. Actually, who cares? None of this matters. Everything in sports doesn't matter, so shut up with that. Like, literally none of this matters.
Yes.
Okay, we're watching millionaires play with basketball, so get off of me with, well, who cares? It doesn't matter. None of it matters, dude. It's a sport. Get over it. Kids matter and job matters and stuff. This doesn't matter. It's all a distraction. We're all voyeurs just watching millionaires play with balls. That's what we do. Where this matters, though, is in that narrative. And for those who don't care about national narrative, I would say where national narrative matters is with agents and with potential free agents and with the way this team is thought of around the league, which does have some real on-court implications. The only thing I might take a shot at, you have to rank management dead last. You have to. Right now, you have to. The money, that's an easy ranking. I hate the fact that Sacramento is the 28th worst market in the NBA when it comes to attracting free agents, but I have a better chance at making an argument that they should be 30 than I do that they should be 25th. And they don't have a first-round draft pick this year, and they're not going to make the playoffs. So, yeah, you're probably going to have issues with your draft capital over the next 3 years since 1/3 of those years you don't have a first-round pick. 1/3 of those years you don't have a first-round pick. The only place you could have room to argue is when it comes to players. Now, I personally think the Kings being, 27th in players over the next 3 years, I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong because you have De'Aaron Fox, Bogdan Bogdanovic, because you have Marvin Bagley, because I think Harry Giles is going to be better than people think he is. But I'm biased. And I've also seen all these players up close, and I've seen a lot of them in practice, and I always think the best in those senses. Here's the reality of the situation. De'Aaron Fox came in last year and didn't light it up. He did not light it up. He had moments. He did not light it up. The Kings had one guy make an all-rookie team last year, and that was Bogdanovic, who made the second team.
And he's 25.
Harry Giles has 2 busted knees and hasn't played a minute in the NBA. The track record for big men coming back from 1, much less 2, catastrophic knee injuries is not good. And Marvin Bagley, all he's shown us so far is what the scouts warned us about, which is the dude's got a tremendous motor. He can't go to his right. His summer league performance, other than game 1, was below average. And those are just facts.
And that's not to say that these guys all can't become good NBA players. But in the NBA, dude, it is a star-driven league. You need, in the modern NBA, multiple all-stars.
Yes.
If you're going to contend.
2 at least. 3 probably better.
If you have 2, you better have a bunch of a deep bench.
Or one of those 2 better be a world beater. Better be a LeBron James. Better be Kevin Durant. Better be that type of person.
So even if all of these guys, if you're sitting there going, hey, they could all be good players, like, yeah, they can. But there's been nothing to show so far that anybody is going to develop into one of those perennial all-stars, can carry the team by themselves type of player.
You have a lot of coulds.
Yes.
Could.
Yes.
If I had to go to Vegas right now, and if the bet was out of the roster on the Kings right now, will one of those players make an all-star team as a Sacramento King in their career? I would bet yes, but it would be like yes at minus 135, like very close.
I need odds.
By the way, of all the players that we just mentioned and all the players that were mentioned in that article, they left out the guy who might actually have the best chance of making an all-star team, and they left out the guy that might be the best player on the team, and that's Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield not mentioned once.
Buddy Hield's terrific.
Buddy Hield is terrific and has made jumps and will continue to make jumps. Listen, I can sit here and say, Willie Cauley-Stein's in a contract year, made a jump last year, he's going to make another jump this year. Buddy Hield, if you look at those numbers and behind those numbers, had a pretty terrific year last year. And what do we say is second all-time in three-pointers made in his first 2 seasons? That's pretty good.
Like that, yeah.
De'Aaron Fox, you would assume, is only going to get better. Marvin Bagley can't be worse than a summer league, I don't think. And you got to add in Harry Giles. That's on top of Bogdan Bogdanovic. We can talk an upside, and I can give you a best-case scenario with this team, but that list is about what is here. What is here right now, and what is the most likely? And the most likely is that the Kings aren't going to make the playoffs for the next 3 to 4 years. They don't have a draft pick this year. They're not going to make the playoffs this year, and they're going to watch the Boston Celtics pick top 5 probably. Most likely, De'Aaron Fox, borderline all-star ceiling. Bogdan Bogdanovic will not make an all-star team. Willie Cauley-Stein will be gone next year. Harry Giles is more likely to average 7 and 5 and play 50 games than he is to average 15 and 10 and play 82.
I don't appreciate you talking about my large adult son, Harry Giles, like that.
You and I are both in the hive, man. Nobody's rooting for Harry Giles more than us and a lot of Kings fans. But when you look at roster, right now, the Kings are probably the second worst team in the NBA, ahead of only the Atlanta Hawks.
Now, there's, like you said, there is a scenario. We got a break in about a minute. There is a scenario where we're looking back on this exact conversation a year from now, 2 years from now.
Sure.
And going, man, remember when they were ranked 29th and now they're, fighting for a top 4 seed in the West?
Yes.
Because like you said, there is a scenario where all of these guys just hit their maximum ceiling and the Kings have 4 all-stars.
It gets contagious.
But when you look at a track record of what perennial all-stars look like through their first couple of years and what the Kings core has looked like through its first couple of years, it doesn't track.
No.
It's not there. Do they get there this year? Maybe. Maybe, like you said, maybe Harry Giles is a 15 and 10 guy and Marvin Bagley's a 20-10 guy. That could all happen. It could. But your more realistic scenario is spot on.
We'll take a break, and with the limited time we have left before we take a break, I'm going to say something that, and Kyle, this was something that was repeated many times at the end of last year, and I'm going to continue to repeat. You have many, many different choices as to what you listen to in the morning, and we often will thank you for that, and it's an honor to be able to present to you our thoughts and have you listen to us. Looking at the text line right now, Dave, we all don't need to be pessimists to protect ourselves. Dave, you're depressing me. Way to pump up the fan base. Guys, you're listening to the wrong show, is all I'm going to say. Nobody will be more excited about this team, and nobody will pump this team up more when there are things to pump up about. And nobody's saying anything's in stone. If you want the homer take on the Sacramento Kings, though I can certainly be a homer at times, maybe the biggest homer in the world, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your butt. This is where they're at. And if you have an argument that is based in fact, call in. Call in or get on the text line. But if your worldview is so sensitive that talking about this team in a realistic tone is something that's going to upset you. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, man. Maybe sports is a distraction for you. All you have is the Kings, and you just want to hear how the Kings have a shot at making the playoffs. Fine, but that's not – I will never do that because I think that's lying to you if I don't believe that. Just being honest. And you may say, well, your realism doesn't necessarily make it fact. Okay. Then prove me wrong. Tell me what I said that you disagree with without purple glasses on. Tell me that. I welcome it. I don't want to think this way. I don't want to think this team's not going to make the playoffs and we're sitting here in September.
The only argument is that I think the best case scenario is the more likely one. Which, fine.
I can say this, Kyle, with the best thing I can say about this team that I truly believe is that they're trending up.
Right.
They are trending up. They're not trending down, and I'm talking talent-wise, they're trending up. But I will also say I do think it's going to get a little more worse before it gets better. I'm not trying to sell you season tickets, guys. I'm trying to be honest with you. And I'll do that for the next 6 months or whatever it is until the end of the year.
But they're still, to me, as outside looking in, they're doing the right things.
I completely agree with you.
They've done more right things in the last 2 years than they have in the previous 15.
90% agree with you. They're doing a lot more right things than they've done in a long, long time. We'll take a break. Kings have room for 2 max contracts next year. Okay, well, who are you going to get? Who's coming here? When we come back, Scott Bair of the Raiders.
Kawhi Leonard.
Right. Well,
Klay Thompson.
They have room for 2 max contracts next year. Spoiler alert. There's a 98% chance those 2 max contracts are going to turn into about 7 little contracts. Shocking. That's probably what's going to happen. Again, prove me wrong. They're maxing when you shut your mouth. Would you say that off the air? Scott Bair.
Thanks, Dave.
Scott, you guys didn't see the light. Scott Bair will join us next from NBC Sports California. Right here on The Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.
These great moments in sports happen right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.